Good evening, Tasha. How are you?
Blessed to be here.
That's what we're going to say. That's
Yeah.
what we're going to say.
How are you?
I am blessed to be here. I'm excited. There's so many great things going on in life, and it's a pleasure as always.
It really is, right? Like
So many great things.
I got so much to be grateful for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love it. And today, because we would be known to many as strong women.
Well, some
What?
people don't even know us at all. Let's tell them who we are.
Oh, my bad. You're absolutely right. You're
Good
absolutely right.
evening, everyone. Thank you
Good
so much for
evening.
joining us tonight. I'm watching the comments. If you're here, let us know. We'll shout you out. I'm Tasha Howland.
And I am Sharon Porter, and we are the AQ Partners, and we are accountability coaches, and we are coming to you live from our homes because each week we talk about something in accountability and how it helps and shape our lives for the better. It has helped Tasha and I, and we do it now. We're coaches with other people, and we love it. We absolutely love it.
And we appreciate everyone who's watching, right?
Yes.
We learn over the weeks that people watching, they don't say anything. We appreciate and love you as well.
Yes.
I see you out there.
Right? Yes. And for those who are willing to comment, please join the conversation.
Yes. All right. So what's on tap tonight?
Tonight, 6 ways to show up for your strong friends. We would normally have graphics. There's been a bit of a technical difficulty. We're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. Now, I was saying, as you really take a big sip of wine,
it's necessary right now.
Okay. Some would call us the strong people. Right? They would see us, they would meet us, they would presume that we are strong, that we have it all together, that we're on top of it all. Not always. Not always, right? No. And sometimes when you have strong people or people who are known to be strong, people are less likely to check in on them, but they need help too.
Or they don't know how to check in.
Right.
And I think it's fair to just ask.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it's fair. You and I had this conversation. I know someone.
Hey, Gail.
Hi, Gail. I know someone who's very strong, and she was frustrated that people never offered to help her. And what I understood was because she always projected this power of strength of always having it together. So no one thought to, not because they didn't care or didn't want to, it's just they didn't see that there was a need for it because you always have it together.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean you need to be a basket case. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Doesn't mean you need to be a basket case to ask for help. And maybe that's the wrong term. Maybe I shouldn't say basket case. But you understand, you're under severe turmoil and you're falling apart.
Yeah, right? For sure. I have a story just to share before we get into the tips about a girlfriend who was just very thoughtful sometimes, Mm-hmm. When I first had Peyton, it was one of the situations, my oldest daughter has special needs, and she was just like, girl, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know what you need. I don't know how to help you. I don't know if you need help. I don't know what to say, but I love you. Right?
Beautiful.
And I was like, that's all I need. I just need to know somebody is thinking about me. Right? Yeah. Regardless of if I have it together or if I don't have it together, it's nice to just know somebody is thinking about me and that they have the desire to want to do something, right? To lift my load. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So tip number 1 is to be present because it's not easy for them. If someone is strong, they're probably not used to opening up and sharing their feelings. So when they do start to share their feelings, lock in, be present, let everything else shut down and shut out.
You know, a song came into my head.
I don't even know right now. What came into your head?
I was going to say, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the sounds you're used to. I mean, it's like, stop and be present because what you think is actually it may not actually be it, right? I'm going to tell you what the real is. And so I agree with you. Stop and listen and be present.
Well, I mean, and also I'm gonna say I'm not even gonna mention the song that you. I'm gonna jump over that. But we are so. Just think about how it feels as though if someone's trying to. If you're someone and you want to share something, but you see that someone has a phone. Oh, let me take this phone call. I have a colleague who's very well intentioned, but I swear I can't ever talk to her without her saying, "Wait, someone else is calling." Well, all you've told me is that whoever is calling is more important than me right now.
Yeah.
That's the only message you've given to me.
Do you think she ever stops for anybody, or is that just her MO?
I think that's her MO.
Mm,
And it's not helpful. And I've got to figure out a way to share with her. Like, you got to think about being present
yeah.
and not just
Hard
picking up
for it's
every
hard
phone
for
call.
people to stop sometimes.
There are people I have seen who pick up unknown phone calls. Oh, I got to pick up this phone. It's somebody I don't recognize the number.
Mm,
Why? Why do you have to pick it up? You don't even know who it is. That's ridiculous. That's what voicemail is for.
yeah.
So, again, tip number one, be present. It's not easy for them to share their feelings.
Yeah.
Tip number two, encourage therapy. Let's stop making it taboo. We know, right? The
Yes.
Black community.
We are coming around a lot
We are.
these past 2 years, maybe 3 years, I would say.
We've
Uh,
made a lot of gains. Yes.
Probably took me that long to find a therapist. But
Let's not go
I had
there.
a very encouraging friend. You know, the key word there is encourage, right? Continue to encourage.
Yes.
And even if it takes someone 3 years, there's no judgment, right? It's like, I love you and I know this will be helpful for you, or I think that it might be helpful for you. Um, Continue to encourage. Like, really don't give up. Please don't give up on me. Thank you.
And I'm going to say, as someone who might have been a person who encouraged therapy, I would say that that's, I don't know who, I might have. But what I would say, I'm gonna echo your point because there are times as a friend I'm like, oh, she just don't want to do this. Oh, she don't care. Oh, she don't see the value. Oh, she just being hard headed. Oh,
Yeah,
she
well,
just
that's not the case.
right. And I had to walk through and see that I just have to stay on it and just encourage and be supportive and listen because everyone has to go on their own journey and they get there in their own time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask the people in the audience here who are watching, are there any tips that you have? Like we've got 6, but there's plenty more. If you've got some on ways to be there for your strong friends, now, raise no matter of fact, raise your hand if you are considered the strong friend. That are you a part of the tribe that's considered the strong friend?
Well, gosh. I would hope that I have friends on both ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Where I don't want to always be the strong friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't always want to be. You would be perceived, but I also think like attracts like. So you're gonna attract people who are similar in personality to you.
Yeah.
And
But I
so
will tell you, we have a girlfriend who has brought people together and she had these questions, right?
yes,
Checking in on each other. And it was so thoughtful. It was so enriching. It was so much love. Like I want it all the time, you know? And we
yeah,
just have to pause
yeah,
and be present, right? Back to your tip one.
yeah.
Hmm.
So Kelly says she is the strong one most of the time. Kelly, would these tips help you? Tell us if these tips. Gail, are you considered the strong friend?
Yeah. I mean, listen, because if you are, just forward this to all your friends and be like, I'm the strong friend. Here's 6 tips. Check in on me.
Tip number 3, don't diminish their feelings. Everyone wants to be heard. Going back to the initial point, it is difficult if you are considered a strong friend and people assume that you have it all together, but it really just means you're just keeping it composed. That's really all it means. You're not doing necessarily any better than anyone else. You just maybe do a better job at hiding it. And so when someone is talking to you and you're like, "Oh girl, you'll be all right. Oh,
Hmm.
don't worry about it." No, 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 no. That's diminishing feelings. You might be well intentioned, but that is diminishing someone's feelings. Everyone deserves the right to be heard.
Sometimes you just need to listen and not say anything. Sometimes people just want to be heard. They don't need encouragement, they don't need direction, they don't need guidance. Just listen. The
Right.
active listening, right? So sometimes you can go back and say, "So what I hear you saying is," I mean, when it's appropriate,
Yeah.
but just listen. Kelly says, "So far, yes, the tips are helping her. Present over present, like I want you here." Over
Right. Don't send
present.
me no gifts. Yeah.
And Gail said, "Don't get overused."
Gail, you're gonna have to explain that a little bit
Say
more.
more.
You did.
I was gonna say more,
I
Gail.
mean, that's a shorthand. I know you think we thinking the same way, but we might be. You
I'm
just got to
typically
use
in her.
more
I'm
words.
typically in her brain, but say more, Gail.
Tip number 4, check in on them. People who are strong don't like to burden you with their issues or their problems. So you may have to initiate, "Hey girl, what's going on? How you doing? What you been up to? How you feeling lately? How's that going? I'm here for you." You know what I mean? Like you must do the initiating sometime.
Yes, Kelly said yes. Just ask me
Yes.
how I'm doing because the strong friends often take so much, right? We are the listeners and we listen and we listen and we, absorb the problems and we're praying for people, but who is asking me how I'm doing?
Right.
And sometimes when you are the one with the problem, it feels good. It helps lift your own spirits when you're calling someone else to check in on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gail says, when you are the strong friend, people keep coming to the well. If there are boundaries, you can remain strong.
So
Yeah.
boundaries, yeah, but you don't want to like block people out. So what I learned to do was not absorb it, right? I'll listen to it, but the way my memory is set up, it's not that I'm not listening or that I wasn't present in the conversation, but I don't have, the cabinet space to keep all the details in my brain, right? So I'm there. You can still listen to it, just don't absorb it.
I think what Gail was saying is that when you are the strong friend and you're always present, people always take away and never think to show up for you. So they're continued withdrawing.
I might have to ask for some definitions around set boundaries.
Well, she can set it. I think what she meant was setting a boundary so that they don't continue to keep coming back and keep coming back. Sometimes when you're the strong friend, you're the easy target to go to for help. Gail, let me know if I got that right. I
And
don't know.
all I'm saying is you don't have to turn people away. You can continue to listen to them. You just don't have to absorb it. That is where it becomes heavy when you absorb it, right? And so if you set the boundary, be like, I can't absorb anymore. Well, stop absorbing it. You can still talk to me. That's all. That's all.
That's true. No, no, no. I think I see your point. I get your point. As the strong friend, but let's just go back to how we show up for the strong friends, checking in on them. Hey, Alejandro, how are you?
Gosh.
Checking
Coming
in
with
on
the
them.
same ish over and over and over again. I hear you. Yes, set boundaries. Stop calling me, always talking about who died and what problems you got. You ain't got nothing good to say ever.
We
Ever.
I need us to turn back around to how we stand up for the strong friends. We have
Oh,
really
oh, oh. She done took us off
you
on a
took yes, you Gail, don't be a distraction here. Join the conversation. Okay. Check in on them because they don't always like to share their feelings.
that's right.
I understand what that is. And here's something that I try to be mindful of, particularly when I'm talking to my friends. Who's going first? Sometimes you just let the other person go first and start talking and don't worry about getting to your thing, right? Just
Yeah.
let them go first
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they can get what they need to get out uninterrupted and full attention can be on them.
And back to my initial story, sometimes you have to ask your friends, how can I show up for you? How can I check in on you, right? Do you need the phone call? You want the random knock on the door, or is a text good, right? If I just text you like, "Hey girl, thinking about you." You don't have to reply, you know?
Yeah,
That works for some people.
it really does. All right, tip number 5, don't judge. No one is perfect, nor is their life. That is something I feel that some people have a difficult time with, particularly you want to come in and someone says, "This is what I'm going through." Oh, girl, you know
Mm,
what I would do. Don't
mhm.
do that. It's you need to get rid of that man. You need to let that person go on their journey. Don't judge. Be present. Listen. Support the person. You don't have to solve the problem for them.
And when you strip off the judgment, it then becomes easier for that person to talk to you, right?
Absolutely.
No one wants to talk to someone who's always going to be striking judgment. Yeah.
Ever. The first real lesson in judgment I learned, I think I was in either high school or just out of college, and one of my friends, her boyfriend cheated on her. And we all had a very difficult time as her friends with her pain. She was going through it, and we were
So
like,
now we don't like him.
we don't like him. But one of us said, and it's something that I never forgot. She said, "Honey, if you decide to go back to him, that's your choice. We will support you. But don't do or not do something because you think we're going to think a way about it.
Yeah.
We will support you with whatever you choose." Because what she was saying in that moment is something I've carried since that point, is that I don't want you to make a decision based on what you think I'm going to say or do or feel.
Right.
That's not fair to you as your friend, because you may really want to do something but not do it and resent not doing it, because I don't want to bring that to you.
Yeah.
Whatever you decide to do, I'm going to support you in what you do. It's not my
It's the
turn
reason
anymore.
that people don't share a lot of things about relationships, right? And if they did, or if we did, we could help other people avoid the same pitfalls
Yeah.
because we're all going through the same thing. Speaking about relationships specifically, but just even in life, transparency. What is it? What does Brene Brown, say that vulnerability, the strength in vulnerability? And if you know that you're not going to be judged,
Yeah.
um, then that transparency and that vulnerability can help someone else. Yeah.
Yes. So, and tip number 6, be persistent. Keep checking on them. They need you. Don't just do it one time and never come back. Maybe they weren't ready that first time. Maybe they weren't ready the 5th time. But maybe at that 10th time, they feel like they can trust you and open up and they can share.
Let me how do you feel about that, Sharon? Do you do that 10 times? A 10-time check-in?
Yes.
I don't know about 10 times.
Yes. It was a long
Really?
time. There was a friend I had that I was encouraging going to therapy over a period of years. I don't know how many times I encouraged my friend to go to therapy.
Well, that's different than checking in on your strong friend. And yeah, that's different. I'm thinking about like checking in on someone and they don't ever return your text type of, that when I think about checking in and don't stop after the first time, it's like, well, that's where my mind went. But if it's just you
Checking
going
in.
back
I
to
mean,
being
I'm checking
fair,
in.
talking about encouraging therapy, you can't mix the two.
Well, because the person was my strong friend and I knew she needed support. And so I'm encouraging the support for her to get to a better place. So I encouraged. I didn't give up. I was persistent. I let time go in. I'd say, "How are you doing? How are you feeling? Should we consider therapy yet? Is this a good time?" No.
It sounds a little judgmental to me.
I'm recalling something that happened in my life. I don't
Mm,
I don't know what happened in your life.
we now is now the time? I don't know. That sounds a little judgmental to me. I'm gonna let you pass because that friend went to therapy and it was life changing. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. To be persistent, keep checking. Listen, I do have a friend who I know is going through a lot right now. And when I call him, he doesn't really talk about it. But I call him and I say, "Hey, I'm checking in on my strong friend. How you doing?" And so while he won't go there and he doesn't have to, what he does know is that I am there for him. And he told me, "I appreciate it. I really do appreciate when you call and do that for me."
Oh,
So
that's very nice.
yeah, so you can do it whether they give you something or not.
Listen, and sometimes for those of us who are checking on our strong friends, it takes practice,
Yes.
right? Because it's not our typical movement. Now Sharon is gifted in this. I tell her this all the time because she can make everyone feel like they are the only one. It's amazing. It's amazing how she does this because I feel like I'm the only one, but
You
I know
are,
I'm not the only one.
you are, dear, but shh,
You are
don't tell.
you are gifted at supporting people. I appreciate what you've done in my life. And it's one of the things that, I've worked on for many years, right? To show up as more loving and to really um outwardly express the care that I have for people because sometimes we care,
Yeah,
we don't do the check-in, right? It's the extra step, it's the action behind the love that you have in your heart. And
yeah.
so
And mine is quality. My act my what was it?
lang-
Love love language are quality time and acts of service. So that is how I just show love, and I'm big on quality time with people. So, but thank you for that. Kelly says, I agree with being persistent, but how do you know when the persistence is unwelcome? They may want you to keep at a distance only. I think they generally tell you. Like if they say, "Girl, why do you keep calling me?" Ain't nothing wrong.
Mm.
Girl, stop. These are the things. These are the clues that you look for. But I mean, as again, to the example I just gave of my other good friend, and I just say, "Hey, I'm calling to check in on my strong friend," and he'll give me the light, polite answer, uh, but he's not shoving me away.
Or you find something else to latch on to, right? So if you know that they're struggling in their marriage, for example, call and check on the kids
Yeah.
or call and check to see how work is going. Maybe strike a different conversation or yeah.
And also, let's just take it past. It doesn't have to be a conversation. It can be sharing space and time. It can be, hey, let's go out for a drink. You don't even have to talk about anything serious, but you're taking that time and you're investing in that person. Hey, I just want to spend quality time with you. I've got a girlfriend. We go on regular walks. It's one of our cherished things to do. We enjoy spending that time together.
I don't know
Walking.
where you get all these hours in your day from. Uh One of the other tips I saw was literally like I read an article, this made me think about you. Send them the article or, something that you saw on YouTube. Sharon does that. Or just send the text, say, hey, just thinking about you. Cute emojis, whatever.
Yeah,
Get it out of your spirit, right? So you can do what you were supposed to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
That I would say you're very good about, right? You said, "Oh, you were on my mind. Let me do something with it because there's something I should be doing with this energy that's
Yep.
come on me." And
Yep.
so, there's no wrong way to do it. The key to this is just to do something. So I'm going to go through the six tips really quickly again. One,
I
be
just want to say
present.
one more. I just want to say one more thing because with
Correct.
the persistence, right, Kelly? If God is tapping you, it's about what your action is. It's really not about how they receive it. You do what you're supposed to do. That's it. Go ahead.
So number one, be present. It's not easy for them. Tip number two, encourage therapy. Let's stop making it taboo. It is not taboo. It is helpful and
Yep.
we need it, especially after COVID. Many people did not come out okay with that, and that's understandable. Tip number three, don't diminish their feelings. Everyone wants to be heard. Even if you think you're doing it in the most polite way, you may not be. Check in on folks. These are people who don't like to put their burdens on other people. So it's not easy for them to open up. So you have to initiate the action. Hey, Nan, good to see you this evening. Tip number five, don't judge. No one is perfect in their life, and no one's life is perfect. And it allows them to build and have trust with you when they know they're not going to be judged. And tip number six, be persistent. Keep checking on them.
Yeah. Well, this was encouraging for me. I'm going to text some people tonight.
And as always, we are AQ partners and we are here to be coaches and coaching everyone who wants to and being accountable and to helping them achieve their goals. I really just batched that up. I got to get better at that. I'm just going to just say it out there.
I hope tonight was helpful. We're here. Thank you for watching. You can
She's
follow
doing
us
so
on
much
Facebook. All of the social media is down below. We're on Instagram. Please go to our website, check that out. Like us and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Hey, all my YouTubers. And LinkedIn. Follow us on LinkedIn, please.
We also have an event coming up April 12th. Wednesday, April 12th, we're doing an event on LinkedIn called How Leaders Can Stop Quiet Quitting. That's for business leaders. That's for HR professionals. Join us. It's free. It's a free webinar. We're excited about it. April 12th on LinkedIn. Take care, everyone.
All right,
Have a good night. Bye, Tasha.
Bye.